Scars don't disqualify you from purpose. Welcome to the Soft Girl Era podcast, where we unlearn survival and reclaim softness, rest, and radical joy. I'm LeAnne Dolce, pronounced Dolce, like sweet softness whispered in French. And today I want to share something that fundamentally changed how I see redemption, resilience, and the audacity of rising after everything tried to bury you. I recently had the profound honor of sitting down with Cherri Woods, a 49-year-old woman who has walked through fire and emerged not just alive, but thriving in ways that defy every statistic that said she shouldn't be here. Cherri has survived drug addiction, jail time, boosting, broken relationships, and a car accident so catastrophic her vehicle flipped five times. And yet here she stands with a shelf license, a guard card, and three beautiful Black daughters who are thriving without criminal records. She's single now, focused on herself, and her message is unwavering. God has you here for a reason, to motivate those who've walked similar paths. Cherri Woods is making the world better by refusing to let her past define her future, by standing as living proof that redemption is real, that cycles can be broken, and that softness after survival is not just possible, it's powerful. She's proof that your scars don't disqualify you from purpose, they credential you for it. Let me tell you something. We live in a world that loves a good redemption story, but only if it's sanitized, only if it's wrapped in a bow with a neat little moral at the end, only if the person who survived doesn't remind us too much of the mess they came from. We want the polished version, the Instagram ready testimony, the one that doesn't make us uncomfortable at brunch. But Cherri Woods and women like her are teaching us something radically different. They're teaching us that your testimony doesn't have to be pretty to be powerful, that your scars don't need to be hidden to be holy, that the very things you survived, the things you thought disqualified you, can become the platform from which you inspire others to stand firm. During my conversation with Cherri Woods on the Soft Girl Era podcast, three truths emerged that I believe every Black woman, especially those of us who've been in survival mode for far too long, needs to hear. First, your past doesn't define your future. Stand on your testimony. Second, raising the next generation clean break cycles. And third, faith and self focus turn survival into purpose. These aren't just nice ideas to cross stitch on a pillow. These are lifelines for women who've been told they're too broken, too messy, too much, too far gone. Let's start with that first truth. Your past doesn't define your future. I know, you've heard that before. Maybe you've even said it to someone else. But have you really let it sink in? Because here's what I've learned. We say we believe our past doesn't define us, but then we spend years hiding it, apologizing for it, shrinking because of it, whispering about it only in therapy or late night phone calls with our closest friends. We treat our past like a shameful secret instead of a sacred story. Cherri Woods didn't do that. She walked through addiction, incarceration, and trauma. And instead of burying those experiences under a mountain of respectability, politics, and fake smiles, she stood on them. She said, "This is my testimony, and it's not a liability. It's my credential." That's the shift. That's the soft girl era move. It's not about pretending the hard stuff didn't happen. It's about refusing to let it be the final word. It's about saying, "I survived that. And now I'm going to use it to help someone else survive too." And let me tell you, this isn't just Cherri's story. There are women all over this country doing the same thing, turning their wounds into wisdom, their pain into platforms. Take Tamika Lipscomb, the founder of Therapy for Black Girls. Tamika battled her own mental health struggles in a culture that told Black women to be strong, to keep it together, to never show vulnerability, to smile through the storm and carry everyone else's burdens while our own souls were drowning. But instead of staying silent, instead of performing strength she didn't feel, she built a therapist directory specifically for Black women seeking affirming mental health care. She embraced softness, positioned rest and vulnerability as necessities, not luxuries, and created community resources that reject the strong Black woman overworked narrative that's been killing us slowly for generations. Today, therapy for Black girls serves thousands of women and has sparked a national dialogue on Black women's wellness. Tamika turned her emotional wounds into a platform that's shifting narratives for Black professionals everywhere. She proved that healing fuels sustainable success and cycle breaking. That's what happens when you stand on your testimony instead of running from it. That's what happens when you decide your mess is your message. Now, let's talk about that second truth: raising the next generation clean break cycles. Cherri Woods has three daughters who are thriving without criminal records. Let me say that again slowly because it matters. Three Black queens who are living lives free from the cycles that tried to claim their mother. That's not luck, that's not accident, that's intentionality. That's a woman who decided that her pain would not be her daughter's inheritance. That's a woman who looked at generational trauma in the face and said, not on my watch. And that's the work, isn't it? Breaking cycles doesn't mean you erase your past. It means you refuse to pass it on. It means you do the hard, unglamorous work of healing so your children don't have to carry what you carried. This reminds me of the work being done by Black Girl Ventures, an organization founded by a Black woman leader to fund and support Black women entrepreneurs through pitch competitions and community. Black women founders often face isolation, underfunding, and survival mode hustle after personal and systemic hardships. They're told to pull themselves up by bootstraps they were never given, to compete in systems designed to exclude them, to smile politely while being underfunded, overlooked, and underestimated. But Black Girl Ventures centered community, shared resources, and emotional support over solo grinding. They funded businesses via collective models that embrace rest, that honor the full humanity of Black women, that say you don't have to choose between success and your sanity. They've supported hundreds of Black women led businesses and drawn national media attention as a holistic model. The founder recognized that Black women can't thrive alone amid trauma and bias, so she built something different. She revolutionized funding with storytelling spaces and safe communities, rejecting judgment for emotional reality. That's cycle breaking in action. That's what it looks like when you decide the next generation deserves better and you build the infrastructure to make it happen. You don't just talk about change, you architect it. And here's the thing about breaking cycles that nobody tells you: it requires you to do the internal work first. You can't just decide your kids won't repeat your mistakes and call it a day. You have to heal the wounds that created those patterns in the first place. eh? You have to learn to say no without guilt. You have to set boundaries without apology. You have to rest without explanation. You have to embrace softness as a radical act of self love, as resistance against a world that wants you exhausted and compliant. That's what the soft girl era is all about. It's the sacred pause Black women have been waiting for. It's not a trend, it's a lifestyle rebellion, a deep exhale from the superwoman script, a quiet but powerful return to softness, rest, self trust, and radical joy. It's permission to stop performing and start being. Which brings me to the third truth Cherri Woods shared: faith and self focus turn survival into purpose. Cherri is single now and focused on herself. She's not waiting for someone else to validate her worth. She's not performing for approval. She's not shrinking to make others comfortable. She's doing the sacred work of tending to her own soul. And from that grounded place, she's able to pour into others without depleting herself. That's the paradox of purpose. You can't give what you don't have. You can't motivate others if you're running on empty. You can't break cycles if you're still trapped in survival mode, still operating from a place of scarcity and fear. Dr. Joy Bradford, a Black psychologist, has been advancing trauma informed care, rest, and joy for high achieving Black professionals. She's responded to the burnout that comes from racial violence, pandemic pressures, and the endless resilience demands placed on Black women with trauma histories. Dr. Bradford promoted softness, reclaiming rest, emotional honesty, and healing as resistance. She provided research backed tools without guilt, without shame, without the toxic positivity that tells us to just think better thoughts while the world is on fire. Today, she's equipped Black leaders with language for thriving, shifting from survival to wholeness. Her work validates faith driven purpose for women post incarceration or addiction, fostering sustainable success in community. She's built scholarship and public platforms celebrating joy as power, influencing generations. That's what happens when you combine faith with self focus. You don't just survive, you thrive. And your thriving becomes a blueprint for others. So here's what I want you to take away from Cherri Woods' story and from the stories of women like Tamika Lipscomb, the founders of Black Girl Ventures, and Dr. Joy Bradford. Your past is not a disqualification, it's a credential. The cycles you break today create freedom for the next generation. And faith combined with self focus doesn't just help you survive, it turns your survival into sacred purpose. But let me get practical for a second, because inspiration without application is just entertainment. What does this actually look like in your life? How do you move from survival mode to soft girl era? Here's your actionable takeaway: audit your energy, claim your purpose, and protect your queens. Audit your energy means taking an honest, sometimes uncomfortable look at where you're spending your time, your emotional labor, your mental bandwidth. What's draining you? What's filling you? Who gets access to you and why? Are you giving your best energy to people and situations that don't deserve it while your own soul is starving? Claim your purpose means standing on your testimony without apology. It means saying, this is who I am, this is what I've survived, and this is what I'm here to do. No more hiding, no more shrinking, no more performing. Protect your queens means breaking cycles for the next generation, whether that's your daughters, your nieces, your mentees, or the younger version of yourself who needed someone to show her a different way. It means creating the soft landing you never had. And I know what some of you are thinking. LeAnne, this sounds beautiful, but I'm tired. I've been strong for so long. I don't know how to be soft. I don't know how to rest. I don't know how to let go of the cape. And to that, I say, I see you. I hear you. And I'm telling you, softness is not weakness. Softness is not giving up. Softness is the bravest thing you can do after a lifetime of survival. It's choosing yourself when the world told you to choose everyone else. It's saying no without guilt. It's setting boundaries without apology. It's resting without explanation. It's embracing healing, wholeness, and emotional honesty. It's learning to be soft in a world that taught you survival. Cherri Woods walked through addiction, jail, trauma, and a car accident that flipped her vehicle 5 times. And she's still here, not just surviving, but thriving, not just standing, but standing firm, not just existing, but living with purpose. She's proof that God has you here for a reason. She's proof that your mess can become your message. She's proof that the soft girl era isn't about being weak, it's about being whole. So here's my challenge to you: stop waiting for permission to step into your soft girl era. Stop waiting to be healed enough, whole enough, worthy enough. You are enough right now, scars and all. Your testimony, messy as it is powerful. Your past, painful as it was, prepared you for purpose, and the world is waiting for you to stop hiding and start healing out loud. Audit your energy today. Claim your purpose tomorrow. Protect your queens forever. Drop the cape. Say no. Rest, heal, break cycles. Claim your purpose. Protect your peace. Be soft without apology because the world doesn't need another strong Black woman carrying everyone else's burdens. The world needs you whole, healed, and free. Your daughters need it. Your community needs it. And most importantly, you deserve it. Welcome to your soft girl era. Softness is your strength. Your past is your platform. Your purpose is waiting, and the next generation is watching. Show them what redemption looks like. Show them what cycle breaking looks like. Show them what it looks like to survive and then thrive. Show them that scars don't disqualify you from purpose, they credential you for it. Now go, be soft, be whole, be free. The world is waiting for the healed version of you.